Y'all, welcome back. It's Friday. Excuse all the sports memorabilia behind me. I am traveling. I'm out of town, so I'm not at home in my normal office, but I'm very thankful to have Wi-Fi and join you all today. Last week we had Evan and Ivana. That was so much fun. I hope you all enjoyed learning a little bit from them. Today we are going to have Bethany from SendSpark, which is a super amazing video tool. I know you all hear me talk about BombBomb all the time. I'm cheating a little bit, I'll be honest. But I'm going to bring Bethany up. I'm super excited to have Bethany. So let's see. Bethany, you there?
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me. And tell everybody who's watching, tell them a little bit about you.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Bethany. I'm the co-founder of SendSpark. And we started SendSpark to make it really easy for you to create personalized videos of yourself to connect with people online. The use case is typically for sales outreach, but really SendSpark can be used for any type of communication connection. So I'm happy to talk more about how it can be used for job seekers today. And I'll tell you, since if you've heard about BombBomb a lot, the key differentiator that sets SendSpark apart is we've really built the platform to help you create personalized videos at scale. So the idea is how can you personalize what needs to be personalized, but automate everything else to be able to send a lot of videos very quickly and efficiently and really be able to scale yourself.
So, job seekers, what I'm hearing from that is that if you can come up with a great pitch of who you are and why you're great at one type of role, you could then personalize that for a bunch of different hiring managers, right, Bethany?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's cool. We're going to get into all things SendSpark, but I really want to talk about a little bit like using video to break through the noise, right? So we're going to talk about SendSpark and the tool and what it does, but why is video so important to break through the noise right now, Bethany?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few things that make video really special. Like one is just that it's really the way that people like to engage with content right now. Like here we are on video. If you look at the number one social media app right now, it's TikTok. Like people like video. And so you should always try to communicate with people the way they like to be communicated with. Like that is the essence of communication. It's not about what you want to say, it's how someone's going to be receiving your message. So I think video is huge there. And I think when you look at like why for job seeking is it really important, it also goes down to like people aren't just hiring you for your experience, they're hiring you for who you are as a person. And video is going to be able to convey that better than an email or like a one-page resume or something like that. Like you're literally showing who you are, and that's really important.
And I also want to point out that a lot of companies are moving to using video. So if you're sending a hiring manager a video, they already know you know how to use the tech.
Yeah.
Boom. So just another reason why you should be using video to break through the noise. I use video personally to break through the noise to candidates, to break through the noise to hiring managers, to break through the noise to CEOs, to anyone that I want to get in touch with, that I want to network with. If I want to have a random coffee chat with you, and I don't think you'd answer my normal message, I send you a video. And I literally would put something about like FOMO in the title of the video, just so like if you don't watch it right away the next day, you're gonna be like, oh. Anyway, what do you do, Bethany, to get more people to watch your videos?
Yeah. And just one more thing on that and breaking through the noise, like as you're saying that, I'm like, I've been on the other side of going through resumes and like, you know, when you put up a job description, you say what the skills are. So you kind of assume or like hope that like most of the applications coming in, they have those set skills. So then you're just looking at all these people who are highly qualified. And then it's like, well, what's going to set them apart? Like you're comparing all of these people who could all theoretically be great, but all you're looking at is like a resume. And you're like, okay, well, where do I even start? So yeah, being able to break through the noise with video is really huge there. Some things that I do to break through the noise is like you want to have a little bit of a hook when you're sending out the video to get someone to play in the first place. Because like once they're at the video, you can focus on the video content, and that's another thing. But step one is like, how do you get them to watch the video? And so having some kind of like hook of like what you're going to say, what the value of the video is for them, either in the video or with SendSpark, you can also add like a personalized video thumbnail where you add the company logo and you can add a short caption to the video there. that's like a nice way to just get people to know like what's in store, why they should click and invest 10 seconds of their life watching your video.
Literally, because I know everybody thinks we have an extra 10 seconds, but we don't. We literally don't. And to that point, let's quickly say, like, be careful with your timing in your video, y'all. If you send me a video that's over a minute long, like, I'm not watching that. If you post a video on LinkedIn that's over a minute long, I'm not watching that. Short form, we like TikTok. You heard Bethany say TikTok's the #1 video right now, like, platform, right? Like, short form videos where it's at. Short and sweet, to the point. And if you can't say what you need to say in 20 seconds, you need to go do some more work before you film that video.
Yeah, I would say every 10 seconds buys you your next 10 seconds. So if you're boring for 10 seconds straight, like you're going to lose them. And that maybe means you have to record a couple times till you're like, all right, I can say this very succinctly, and a point where like they will be engaged the entire time, going to end it perfectly. And then, give them a call to action, like tell them what the next step is. Is it to book a meeting, send an email, like do something next? But yeah, rambling for more than too long in a video means you might lose your viewer.
Literally, I used to be like, and my calendar link's right there. Click that right there. Like, you have to have the call to action. You have to have something funny. And in the beginning, yes, like you said, like, film to get comfortable with it, refilm, redo, right? But the other thing is, like, people love a good blooper. Some of the best videos I ever sent out were bloopers, and I put in the title of the video, blooper inside. And people want to see that. People want to laugh at you. So laugh at yourself, send it, be confident in what you're doing and what you're putting out there, because realistically, you're trying to show your personality. And remember, the person on the other end of that screen is a human, just like you.
Yeah, we'll talk about a good hook. Like, I would definitely watch something that says, like, applying for this job, blooper inside. You're like, all right, let's get real.
Right? Let's go. How bad could it be? No, I've definitely had some crazy things happen, and I like to use props in my videos. So I have pom-poms, I have a basketball with like a hoop that hooks over the door in my office, and I'll like shoot into it and like turn the camera where you can see that I make it. And one time I did that and the whole hoop fell down.
Oh
And I
my
was
God.
like, and I looked over, I was like, you can't make every shot. And I literally sent the video and I booked a meeting because I just went with it. Like that's literally how life is sometimes,
Yeah.
right? So just always remember, be yourself, be polished, but don't be perfect, I guess would be my advice.
I love that. Yeah, polished but not perfect.
Right. All right, cool. So I know SendSpark is mainly like, it's for sales, right? Like, that's the point. Mass, get it out to the people. But this is like, we have a lot of sellers on. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's a ton of AEs and SDRs on the call. But for the job seekers out there, how can SendSpark help them?
Yeah. And I would say, like, if you take a step back, it's like, well, what is sales? Sales is connecting at scale. Like, you're trying to connect. So the general, like, concept is similar. Like, I actually think that people should think of their job seeking experience like a sales process, where it's like, okay, you have your leads of all these job descriptions, you're applying, you're getting later in the process as you're interviewing. Like, it's as much a decision for you about what company you want as them. You're selling yourself. And you're also making a decision of where to invest your time, whether it's in the interview process or within the next multiple years of your life working for a company. So I think there's a lot of crossover there, just because like applying for jobs is a sales process. And then I think there's a few parts of that process where video can be really valuable. One would be getting that first interview. But the way to think about this, again, if you're comparing to sales, is you might have a lot of companies you're applying for. And so this is where maybe some personalization at scale can come into play. Like, do you want to create a personalized video for each job, or do you want to have a more general introduction just about yourself? So you could kind of make an overview video of like, what you're really good at, what you look to do, and then just like include that when you're applying. I think if there's a company where you're like, I am in love with this company, I really want to work here, and you know more about it, that's when going above and beyond to truly personalize it for them is going to give you a leg up. So would definitely recommend doing it there and personalizing it for, the specific hiring manager or the person on the other end. And then I'd say like, that's just to get the interview. And then after, like when you're talking to people, sending video thank you notes is one of the best ways to make sure that you stand out, because the people interviewing you are also interviewing a ton of other people. It all starts blurring together. And they're going to go back, the people interview you are going back to their team, and now they're trying to like talk about you. And if they have a video, it's easy. They just play the video and now you get to talk about yourself. So instead of trusting someone else to like represent you well, if they can play that video and be like, oh, they had a great, they had a great attitude, check this out. Yeah, I can tell, they're going to go the extra mile. For example, they send me this video. Like that is going to help you so much. So those would be the two biggest places I'd see it. I'd say like, yeah, I was going to say one's more important. I'm like, no, they're both valuable.
No, they're both very important. And really quick pro tip, if there's any recruiters on this call or anybody who does any kind of hiring and interviewing, I always film a video right after I interview a candidate and I look at the camera and I just talk to myself and I'm like, Lauren, this is how you feel right now. This is what happened. This is what's good and this is what's not. And if this moves on, this is what you need to follow up on. Because we do talk to so many people and literally sometimes my notes are chicken scratch because I'm writing so fast that I'm moving, or maybe I accidentally closed that Google Doc. So just be mindful of that. Like you can use it as like a little tool for yourself too.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I do that after customer calls a lot, especially when like, you're so tired of like typing emails. I'm like, I'm just going to write a note. I'm going to capture everything I'm thinking. And then when that next meeting comes up, you can play that video to yourself and you remember and you put yourself back in the same place too, because you're seeing your own face. So that's funny. I didn't know other people did that. That's great.
I definitely do that. And it's so funny because when I play it back, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, I did feel like that. Okay. And it like puts the emotion back in me. And then I can literally go talk to you again. And it felt like we just talked yesterday because I'm literally right back in that mindset of seeing you. All right, really quick, answer Patrick's question. What do you recommend to put in the video? What should a job seeker put in a video to a hiring manager? What do you think? I know I'll go too, but what do you think?
I would say it depends a little bit on the job and also like how like what they're looking to hire for. And ideally, that, but you also kind of have to like think about it a level deeper. Like for example, if you're applying for a very technical job where like they're looking to see if you've done a specific thing before, like for example, we've hired people where we like had a very like technical complex thing needed and we needed someone who'd done that before to set it up. And so if you've done that before and you know about it, then I would just literally say it. I like have a video that shows that. And that I'd say is like pretty easy. You're like, oh, looks like you're hiring for this. I've literally done it. Kind of like what the challenge was, how you did it, results, but again, keep it really short, less than a minute. And so on that, and that's going to be awesome. And that's for something technical. If it's something more of like I'm going to say like more of like a personality job, but that's not really the right term for it, but something that's like, less of like a very specific thing and more about
how like customer success.
Yeah. Like it's not personality. It's like, how do you adapt to different situations, right? Like that's what I'm looking for. It's not like, have you done it before? It's like, is this person going to be very versatile that we can just throw them into the ocean and they will like build a boat for themselves? And that's what we're hiring for, which like is, yeah, like customer success or like sales a lot where like you have to be able to like make things up as you go. I'd say like it's less about the specific content and more about like showing who you are, in which case I would try to like be a little creative, maybe like mention something that they're talking about in the job description, but also like try to bring your own personality forward a little bit.
100%. And I'll take it a step further. If I really, really want something, I will nerd out and I will do as much research as I possibly can. When I was first getting into recruiting, I went and found a podcast from like a year before that the person who was interviewing me was on. I like took notes. I read the podcast. Today I was doing a client call and I literally went and like found a paper that the guy contributed to and I read his research paper. Like show them that you know them. Hey, Sam McKenna, where are you? Show them that you know them, right? Show them that you're willing to put forth the effort and the energy. Because if you're willing to put forth the effort just to show them, like, I'm the right person for the job, I'm the person you should interview, how much are you going to do for their clients? How much are you going to do for their company? How, like, you're already going the extra mile and you don't have the role yet. I would want to hire you right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Because, like, that's what you're looking to hire for. I mean, at least, like, me, like, hiring for a startup, like, you're looking for people that, like, you don't necessarily know what they're going to have to do, but you just want to know, like, is this somewhere where, like, they are excited to show up every day and work because it's, like, something they care about? And I know because they're going the extra mile and listening to my podcast and, like, getting really into it and geeking out. Or is it just, like, they apply, do 100 things and, like, they just want a job. Because like no one wants to hire someone that just wants a job. You want to hire someone that like wants to work for your company, which maybe is like an unrealistic ask because like people need jobs. But like the more you can show that, the better off you'll be, and the
Okay,
more you'll set yourself ahead.
so you transitioned us right into this,
Oh,
which is perfect. Um, you're right. It's about being specific and having intention. If you're applying for anything, I always kind of, don't take this the wrong way, but I get people who message me and they're like, Lauren, I really need a job. I'll take anything. And I find something and I'm like, it's remote, it fits, da da da. And they're like, oh no, I won't take that. And I'm like, but you said, and it's like, well, no, not that. And I'm just like, hold on, time out. Like, you didn't qualify it before. So be very specific. There was some great advice from a recruiter on LinkedIn recently, and it was talking about when you're even talking to candidates and like qualifying questions, right? Like, ask the question 3 or 4 times. Do that with hiring managers too. You'll notice like all these personality tests you used to take, it was like, it was the same question written 4 different ways to see
yeah.
if you'd answer it the same way each time, right? I'll ask a hiring manager a question at the beginning of the interview, and then at the end of the interview, I'll have it written a different way, and I ask it again because I want to make sure that they're giving me a straight answer. And if there's some gap in between and I word it differently, they're not going to realize it's probably the same thing. And a lot of that is just for me because I know it's surface value, right? Or
Yeah.
people, you think people are actually like really transparent with that? I don't.
Yeah, and like I would say that the most important thing that I like try to hire for, and I learned this from like my first boss, Pat Matthews, when I was like first interviewing people. And you know, it's kind of asking, well, why do you want to work here? And making sure that they really do. Cause like if you find people that, you know, what they're doing in this job is aligned with their long-term career interests, like let's say, you know, you talk to someone and even if it's not like a perfect match, like someone wants to be a content creator and so they're applying for a content marketing job, like you see how that lines up. You're like, okay, your ultimate goal, or like your ultimate goal is to start your own company, so you want to work at a startup. You're like, great, well, if you work here, you know, all day, you're going to be learning how to run a startup. You're working for yourself, and eventually you're going to get to like what you really want to do. And I can see how you working for me is going to be working for yourself. And those interests are very aligned. But like if you talk to someone and they're like, oh, well, I really want to do this thing in a totally different industry, then you're like, well, you're not gonna be working for yourself. You're gonna be working for me. Then like that's not like it's not an alignment. And so I think the more that you can, as a hiring manager, you're trying to look for that alignment to just have it be long-term success. And so you should do that as a candidate, one, for your own long-term success, and then two, because that's what's going to help you get the job. And otherwise you could be like, well, no one wants to hire me. And you're like, well, did you even want those jobs? And it's like, no. And it's like, well, okay, like that's why.
Yeah. I was talking to someone in I think it was in like April or May, and we were talking about tailoring their resume for a specific job. It was one of my candidates, right? And they were like, well, I don't want to tailor my resume. And I said, okay, well, do you really want the job? And they just looked at me and I was like, do you really want the job? Like, it's going to take you 15 minutes to tailor your resume. And I'm telling you, if we do these things, you have a better chance of getting this job. I'm not doing it for you. That's not my job.
Yeah.
But do you actually, like, are you interested enough to spend 15 minutes changing your resume? Because if you're not, you need to take a step back and think about if you would actually want to do this job. And they were like, you know what, you're right. I don't want to do that job. And we didn't submit the candidate for that role. But if you're not willing to change your resume, if you're not willing to film a video, if you're not willing to network, if you're not willing to put yourself out there, I would question how bad you really want it.
Yeah, and it's so good to know that early on, because if you're like, wait a minute, I don't want it. It's like, great, okay, well, pick one thing you do want. You only need one, right? Like, pick what you do and then go 1,000% on that and like make that work. You know, and hopefully it'll all come together a little nicer.
100%. And I talk to a lot of job seekers. One of the other things I want to bring up with adding intention to your job search is don't just use video to pitch yourself to hiring managers. You should be using video to just introduce yourself to people. You should be networking with people who do the job that you want on the team you want to be on. So that when a spot opens up, they know, hey, I know Bethany. Bethany's been in my DMs for a month. Bethany really wants to work here. Like, you've sent a video, they know who you are. They're literally warming that up for you without you even asking them to, because you made a connection and got to know them.
100%. Also, one thing I probably should have specified about like pitching yourself early. When you think about pitching yourself, don't think about it as much as like pitching yourself self as a person. Because if you try to do that, you're like, well, I don't like that's a lot to try to like frame. Like, who am I? Like now you're on a whole different tangent. But like you really want to think about like what value are you adding to the business, and like that's what you're selling, right? Like, I mean, like if you're, like let's say you're in sales, like you want to be framing like this is how much I can help you grow. I can help you enter a new market. Like my experience is going to translate to this. Like really think about the specific value to the business, and like that's what you're selling. I think like a lot of times people talk about like personality and these things being important, and I think it like definitely like is in some way, but you can't get like too distracted by that, because I think what you want to do is focus on value, and then in that process your personality is going to shine through, and they'll like see who you are. But like focus on the tangible value, like how does your role impact the business? You focus on that with like a short video, and like that's really going to hit home.
100%. 100%. All right. I didn't say it earlier, but I'm going to throw it out there really quick. If you look down below, tag hashtag Friday Live in the comments. We do have a few prizes we're going to give away. I will draw for them at the end. I think we're just going to do one drawing today. I have a little bit of cookies from Grove Cookie Company that I'd love to share with you guys. And then I also have something special from Lead Delta that I get to give away. So I'm super excited. Really big thank you to Jesse and Eddie from Reveting. They have a show every Wednesday night, right? Whiskey Wednesday. And I won some prizes that I already have. So instead of having double prizes, everybody's like, Lord, you can regift them. I know nobody likes a regift, but maybe you'll like a regift today. So hashtag Friday Live. I will tell you the cookies are phenomenal. I brought some to like show you guys, and I ate them all on the plane. I'm sorry. So I have no cookies to show you, but I did take a video of the cookies. So I'll post those on my page later. But Grove Cookie Company, if you guys are trying to buy some like something that tastes homemade, I'll say I've gotten cookies before. Shout out to Michelle Craig. She sent me cookies when I was really sick a few months ago. But I will say those Grove Cookie Companies are probably the best cookies I've had. They were better than the crumble cookies. Can I say that out loud? Is that okay? They were better than the crumble cookies. So great job, Grove Cookie Company. Hashtag Friday Live. I didn't want to say it too early because if you just joined for the first 5 minutes, you don't deserve to get any prizes. So no prizes if you left already, but if you're hanging out, hashtag Friday Live, and it does look like it's collecting some cool. So everything's working, it's collecting it. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. What else do we have? I wanted to bring up really quick the January accountability group is full. I know some of you know I run an accountability group to help you learn to get consistent about posting on LinkedIn. It gives you topics, prompts. We have a Slack community. So if you need help, or if you want encouragement, or if you need some extra engagement, we're all there for each other. We like to support each other. And literally, that accountability group, I think, is the reason that I have been very successful on LinkedIn. It has kept me accountable as well, since I'm having to be accountable for all of you. The groups will be free through April. So if you would like to get in for February, send me an email, or go to lessonswithlauren.co to get in the accountability group. Bethany, how often do you post on LinkedIn?
Not as much as I should. I think I'm like that accountability group sounds like a good idea.
You think you post maybe once a week? What do you think?
Maybe like twice or so. It
Twice
just depends. Like if I have an idea, like I'll post, but I feel like it's important to like post even when you don't have an idea, and maybe when you want inspiration and to just be more engaged in general. But yeah, probably like 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah. And I will say, this is coming from someone who teaches people to post every day. You don't have to post every day. I'm a big, big believer in doing LinkedIn your way. Do LinkedIn the way you want to do LinkedIn. You can join my group. We can post every day. Or you can say, Lauren, I'm just going to comment on your post every day, and I'll grow that way. And you will grow if you actually add value and engage and follow and network with other people. So as much as I would want to say, yes, 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 post, join the group, post every day. I want to teach you because it's really made me successful. It's not what you need to do necessarily. So take it from the girl who teaches people how to post. You don't have to post to be successful. Okay, people. But if you want to learn to post, go to my website below and we'll get you in the group for February. All right. So let me see. We had some comments come in. Oh, AP's here. AP is here. Hunter is here. Sarah is here. Let's see. Somebody said hello. There we go. AP. Hey, Lauren and Bethany just arrived. AP, you're a little late, but just in time for prizes. Gretchen's always showing up. I was supposed to meet with Gretchen earlier this week. Gretchen, we have to reschedule. Bethany, if you don't know Gretchen, Gretchen's a phenomenal female leader. She's definitely somebody you should be networking with. Oh, we got some cool people. Sarah Downey. Sarah was in the accountability group. Hunter was in the accountability group. We got all these fun people on here. All right, cool. So let's draw a prize. We're gonna do a half show today. So we'll go ahead and draw a prize. Oh, Hunter, accountability group is the best. I think you guys are the best. Just saying. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me get to my giveaway. All right, if anybody wants to get in, there's only 10 people entered. You have really good chances of winning these cookies and this Lead Delta subscription. Oh, I'm glad I'm feeling better too, Gretchen. All right, so let's present last chance. Hashtag Friday Live. Share my screen. This is when you can tell like Lauren's super blonde when she's trying to do the live giveaway. All right, here we go. Hope you can see my screen. Let's drop. Patrick, you actually asked the question and we answered. I'm so happy you won. All right. So, Patrick, get with me and we will get an address for you for the cookies and I will get you set up for the Lead Delta. That is super exciting. And I think it's fitting that we said ask questions in the chat and the person who asked the question won the prize.
Is it rigged?
You know what? It's really not because I literally in the Wednesday show with Reveting, I only do the hashtag one time and I like literally do it to support and I've won like every show. Maybe that's the secret, guys. Only do the hashtag one time. Maybe I just gave away, maybe that's how it's rigged. But I did the hashtag one time and I've like won so many times. And I'm like to the point where I don't want to win. So I don't think it's rigged because I'm not asking for it. But yeah, okay, Patrick. So you won. Get with me. Is he here? Yahoo! There he is. Thank you. Will do. All right, Bethany. What else do we have to say about SendSpark? What do we want to leave the people with this Friday afternoon?
Yeah, I would say like if you're thinking about doing video and there's any hesitations, like just do it, just try it, put yourself out there. You can use SendSpark for free. We have a free plan that should have everything you need as a job seeker because the paid plans are more for like company brands anyway. Am I able to put a link somewhere, Lauren, to sign up?
I'm gonna drop it in the comments, or I can put it in put it down below.
Can you put it in the comments? I don't see where to write it. Just sendspark.com.
Oh, it's down below. It's across the bottom of the screen right now. Sendspark.com.
Oh yeah, it's been there all the time. Yeah. Try it out. It's free. Record some videos. If you want any feedback, feel free to send it to me. My email is just bethany@sendspark.com, and I can give you feedback on how.
And that's an incredible offer. Send her your video under a minute. Don't make it more than a minute, or I'm gonna tell her not to watch it. Okay. But send a video. Use the tool. And I know somebody asked me the other day, does SendSpark have captions?
It's not like automatic captions, but you can write a caption on the video thumbnail to send out.
Okay, so you can write captions so that they are what's the word I'm looking for?
If you're looking for compliant, it's not. So
no, not that. I mean, if you put it on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's adding these weird captions now, but like the words are wrong. I'm trying to say like you're gonna actually get the words across that you're trying to say. Like when I say SaaS, I don't mean I'm sassy. I mean software as a service. But the captions that I'm like that are auto-generated aren't picking up on that. So at least you can actually type up exactly what you're trying to get it to say.
And you can like kind of frame it as your hook too, because you can add a caption in the video thumbnail when you send it out. So like that's what people are gonna first see in their email. And the nice way to kind of play with that is think about like what's a nice start that people would want to click and see the rest of the video for.
All right, cool. Well, guys, it's after 3:30 Eastern. I am, yeah, look, Gretchen, auto not intuitive for auto generated. I agree, Gretchen. It's after 3:30. I said this was going to be a short show. I'm going to keep my word. I'll give you all your time back. We will see you next Friday. I will have a surprise guest for you. And I'm filling up the calendar for the show for next year. So if you're interested in getting on the show, if you have a product, if you're a hiring manager, if you just got something good you want to say, send me an email. We will chat. We will talk. And thanks, Bethany, so much for joining me. I know this was short notice.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a blast. Thanks, everyone.
Of course. Bye, guys.
See ya.